Up with Malika Andrews from ESPN.
Hey, Steve, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I can't complain. I'm wondering, first, James Harden out tonight. I know you've had to protect him from himself in the past. You were going to assess how he felt this morning. How was he feeling? What ultimately led to that decision?
He's feeling pretty good. He had a scan and it was clear. So he's day to day. So we're excited that it wasn't worse. And then I thought it was a wise decision for him to be precautious and to come out of the game and make sure that we're on the right side of this. So, big sigh of relief. And, day to day means we'll see him probably in the next few games for sure.
And then with LaMarcus Aldridge being available tonight, how do you envision using him? Minutes, restrictions, starting, all that good stuff.
Yeah, we'll see. We definitely want to err on the side of not overtaxing him. Like we always say with a lot of these guys, either coming back from injury or coming off of a layoff, like Blake or LaMarcus. We don't want to overburden them early and risk injury. So we want them to adapt back to play safely, and that's the number one target. And the second is just trying for him to incorporate what we do and figure out what we're doing. I mean, he had one scrimmage with the Stay Ready group, and then he scripted offense today. So it's pretty last minute here, but we're excited to get him on the floor and get him feeling a part of this, but also getting his basketball legs back.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Greg Logan, Newsday.
Steve, sorry to belabor this, but we're not going to be able to talk to you tomorrow. I'm just wondering if you can give us the latest update on Kevin Durant, and is he close enough that you think he might play one of the back-to-back games with the Bulls and the Knicks?
I doubt that he would play in either of those games, but he's progressing, and we're monitoring it and continuing to push and find him opportunities within that structure to get high-intensity loads in so that we can, measure whether it's safe for him to come back and play. So everything's progressing the way we would like, and fingers crossed it won't be too long.
Brian Lewis, New York Post.
This is a follow-up on KD, although it's probably a little bit less health-related. I mean, one, what do you guys need to see from him before you'd feel comfortable putting him out there? And secondly, what were your reactions to his back and forth with Michael Rappaport? Did you feel the need to discuss this with him, some of the language that was used? Is that something you talked to him about?
Well, first of all, it was a private conversation with him and the other party. He's, we've talked about it internally, but we'll keep all that stuff internal. So, and as far as what do we need to see from him to return to play, the performance team, they have their markers, there's a certain amount of high intensity loads and full court activity that he has to be able to get through, not only without incident or without issues the next day, but also just the cumulative buildup of those loads. And so that's something that he's in the middle of right now. And hopefully, if he can do that without any setbacks, there will be a time when he can re-enter. So he's progressing in the right manner, and we're hopeful that it won't be too long.
Alex Schiffer, The Athletic.
Hey, Steve, I got two for you. Landry's also back tonight. Do you see any restrictions on him because of that ankle?
Not really. I hope that he's able to play, up to his customary minutes, but we'll see how it goes. It looks good and looks like he shouldn't have any restrictions, but you never know getting back out there and how he looks and feels. So, but fingers crossed again that he'll be able to play his normal amount of minutes.
And then just with Blake out tonight due to rest, you guys brought Alizé back on that second 10-day. Do you see any run for him potentially, given you guys are down a big?
He could play. It's a second of a back-to-back. We're down some bodies, and he's a guy that brings energy and plays hard. So I would have no problem putting him out there, but we'll see what the game suggests.
Christian Winfield, New York Daily News.
Hey, Coach, with James out, do the X's and O's change when running the offense through Kyrie, or are you going to just do the same stuff that you usually do with James running point?
I think it's a little different. They're different players. They're both brilliant, but it's a little bit different. You could see, I think, the way we played in the fourth quarter last night was a little different than when James is running the show. James has gotten us a lot of wins this year, and we can't wait to get him back. But Kyrie also is one of the most, incredible shot makers, I've ever seen. So, though I do think without James, it gives us one less playmaker. So we're gonna have to make plays together, move the ball, move bodies, play with a little bit more pace to create opportunities for each other.
Steve Lichtenstein, WFAN.
Hi, Steve. Back to Blake. Last night was the first time I saw that you had him in the last 5 minutes of the fourth quarter instead of the first 5 minutes. Was that always the plan, or did James's injury factor into it and thinking you need another playmaker?
No, it wasn't the plan necessarily. And I'm not even sure James's injury factored that much. It was just, I think when he got in the game, he played well, and we kept him out there more than anything. So, if we had options. We had Jeff. We assumed that Jeff may finish the game. We brought him out, but Nick and Blake played so well together that Jeff never got back in the game. So as much as anything, it was just that we got things going and we're playing and going in the right direction, and they stayed out there.
Simone Sandri, La Gazzetta dello Sport.
Sorry. Can you hear me?
Yeah, gotcha.
Oh, sorry about that. So a couple of days ago, you got elected in the FIBA Hall of Fame. You didn't really play tons of FIBA basketball in your career, but you obviously left a mark, especially in the qualifier. I guess how do you feel about that accolade? And also, did FIBA at all influence you as a coach? You're one of the very few coaches in the NBA, for instance, who try to fouls with up by 3 and 2 seconds left, which is a FIBA calling card.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, I didn't play a ton. I only played, I think, 2 world championships and 1 Olympics. So, and it was a while ago now, but I respect and love the international game. So there's a lot to be learned from international basketball. Fouling up 3 or fouling when you're not in the bonus on fast breaks, or, different just ideologies. And so I think it's very useful, and I think that my experience in FIBA was tremendous, and in some way, I'm sure it impacted me as a coach.
Thank you, Coach.
Okay, thanks everybody.
Hey, everybody, just